Hey guys, it's Oluvids. I know it's been a little bit since I did a regular video. I've still been active here on the channel through like streams and shorts, but I know, especially talking about Kingdom Hearts, it's been a little while. Yeah, today I'm going to be talking about the current state of Kingdom Hearts. There's a lot of things that have been happening and have not been happening. Yeah, so let's start with the big missing link in our next upcoming entries, which is Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. I'm sure you all know by now that game got canceled, full on canceled, close to when it was originally supposed to be coming out. I mean, maybe this is like just some really meta storytelling, you know, like Square Enix is trying to hide the hidden history, the missing link. We can only uncover those secrets in Kingdom Hearts 4 when we find the library or whatever in Scarlet Kylum. Which, yes, we actually got some new screenshots from Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm sure you guys know about that already too. But yeah, shortly after they announced that they were canceling the game, they released some pictures of Cage 4. One of those included Mickey in Scarlet Kylum doing some platforming, it looks like. We got a couple other pictures, you know, everything's looking great in the game. We got some new Heartless and all that type of stuff. But yeah, so Missing Link is gone, and yeah, it seemed like there was going to be some important stuff. Literally, the last Kingdom Hearts video I made was about Missing Link and its characters, so, I mean, I'm glad I made that before they canceled it, because, like, now it would just be kind of irrelevant. It doesn't even, just doesn't exist anymore. And there's a couple other ways they could do this. One way is, like, turning Missing Link from a mobile game into a lower budget console game, Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox, PC. I think that more realistically, they are going to do a Kingdom Hearts key back cover type thing. I think they're going to turn that story into a movie. And so we'll see some of the cutscenes we probably saw on the beta for the game. But so we still have the story, even if it's not an actual video game. It's still going to be like an entry, quote unquote, into the Kingdom Hearts series. An outcome that would kind of suck, which would be something even below a movie, would be if they just included in text in like Scarlet Kylum and Cage 4. Like you just read in text like, oh, this happened, and you know, like it's just text where it's like overall giving you I guess a summary of the story of Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. Anyway, aside from that, still pretty radio silent about Kingdom Hearts 4. I think those images honestly were not, it wasn't like the start of the Kingdom Hearts marketing cycle. It was just like damage controls because they saw how angry everyone was at Missing Link being canceled. And there's also, of course, the community. The Kingdom Hearts community is kind of not dying, but getting stagnant. We're kind of just repeating the same types of things, you know. Where do we put Cure on the shortcut? You know, it goes on X, no, triangle. And then there is like, I guess kind of a war between Kingdom Hearts 2 fans and every other Kingdom Hearts fan. There's like a thing where you're rage baiting Cage 2 fans on Twitter right now. I don't know what's up with that. I mean, the good thing that's happening community-wise is David Gallagher, the voice actor of Riku, is actually streaming Kingdom Hearts, the series. Well, I don't know if he's doing the whole series, but I know he's playing the first one at least. So that's actually pretty cool. I haven't watched them myself, but I'm sure it's a fun time. So that's like, it's something good for Kingdom Hearts fans, and I'm sure he gives a lot of insight into the character or just him as an actor, what he was feeling during these scenes. Of course, there's a lot of Kingdom Hearts YouTubers still making videos, you know. Shout out to Key, by the way, like on that 358 by 2 days grind. Like, I didn't even think you could make that much videos on that game. But yeah, community wise, like, people are just like, they need something, they need a crumb of information. In terms of Square Enix themselves, I mean, in terms of other series, there's Final Fantasy. I'm actually streaming Final Fantasy 16 currently on YouTube and Twitch. But Final Fantasy is doing pretty well for itself, as we've seen. We had 16 and 7 Rebirth. They just announced Dissidia for mobile. And people are theorizing that like Missing Link got repurposed into that. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's how it actually works. I mean, at most, maybe they reuse some Tokyo assets or something like that. I'm sure it's very different games made by two completely different teams. Dragon Quest is somewhat in a similar situation to Kingdom Hearts, but they're a little better off. Dragon Quest 12 has only had a logo reveal. There's literally nothing other than that. The logo and the title, Flames of Fate. And however, we did have some spin-offs. We had Dragon Quest Monsters, we had the Dragon Quest Treasures, so Dark Prince I think it was, and Treasures, and then we had remakes for Dragon Quest 3, and then now they're about to come out with Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remake, including some new story content. So it's like stuff that's not Kingdom Hearts. Even if it's kind of bad right now, they're still getting a little bit of something. Kingdom Hearts is kind of getting the short end of the stick right now. I mean, I guess it could be worse. It could be The World Ends With You, where you got literally nothing going on. If only they could just make some lower budget games, not even done by Square Enix themselves. I've mentioned this I believe I mentioned it in a short from a stream that I was doing, but you could get Dimps. What I would do in the meantime is I would get Dimps to do a remake of Days and Recoded. You know, because it's like there's a big controversy about like, oh, should they do a Kingdom Hearts remake or things like that. I don't think they really need to remake the Kingdom Hearts games like KH1 or 2 or anything like that. They're fine as they are on the remasters. And also, it's just going to take up more time for a game we already have. Sure, they could probably add in certain story things that connects it better with later entries, but I feel like it's more worth it to just make a new game at that point. However, if you get, not Dimps, Hand, I said Dimps because of Sonic. You get Hand to do it. Hand are the guys who even made those games in the first place. So you get those guys to make the remakes, potentially also some spin-offs as well. You got Osaka, who's currently like the main Kingdom Hearts guys right now. They can continue making KH4. I'll also say after KH4, they should probably like reuse animations. You know, there's actually been, I've seen this on Twitter recently. Apparently they're reusing a Mickey animation in that picture I told you about where they released screenshots of KH4. It's like an unused Mickey animation from KH3. That's in there. Honestly, please do more of that. I mean, that could be a placeholder, but like, do what you gotta do. If you have to reuse animations, please do it so that the game comes out faster. Obviously, big upgrade in graphics, but like, sometimes you have to do things like that in order for development to go more smoothly. Especially with this new art style they're going into, you gotta do something, you know. KH4, KH5, who knows? I've done a video about the interview Nomori did, and he's thinking about maybe retiring soon, so that is that whole thing of whether they should continue KH without him. Tough to say, it depends on where KH4 and the other games leaves us, but something's going wrong with the management. I mean, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link was a huge project. I think they were like Unreal Engine 5 GPS action RPG for a mobile game. Like there was a lot going into that, and I think they need to scale that down. Obviously, I very much appreciate that the gameplay was more closer to regular Kingdom Hearts than something like Kingdom Hearts Key or Dark Road was, but it was just too much. And as we can see, they had to cancel it. It was too much for them. Originally, we had the remasters. That's what kind of held us over until Kingdom Hearts 3. And then you had 0.2 and things like that. So it's like you had stuff and back cover. Yeah, I mean, now you kind of lose that mobile pillar. That at least we had that too. During Kingdom Hearts 3's development, we had different chapters of Union Cross or Unchained Key dropping, which revealed things like, whoa, Ventus is there. So it gave us something. We kind of lost that now. We don't even have the mobile games to give us some updates. So Final Fantasy, of course, is always going to be Square's #1, but it's definitely being much more well managed than Kingdom Hearts is. And they have different teams they're using at their disposal. And I think it's about time that Kingdom Hearts, well, they go back to letting some smaller developers handle some of their spin-offs. Hand is very much available. They made Neo the World Ends With You, so like that game's combat was awesome, so they still have it in them to make a cool action RPG. Yeah, I think the fans would appreciate a remake for Days and Recoded. I'd probably appreciate Recoded remake a lot more than some other people, but like Days, I think really does deserve to be played. I think nowadays, like a good chunk of the Kingdom Hearts fan has not even played the actual game before, and they miss out on a lot of stuff. So you know, yeah, current state of Kingdom Hearts is not great right now. I'm fortunate that I like other JRPGs. I've been enjoying things like Xenogears, playing Pokemon Legends ZA. And of course Final Fantasy 16, things like that. So I'm fortunate there's other things I like, but also Kingdom Hearts is like my top two, #1 or #2 series. So it's like I very much want that back. There's always been things about like a Kingdom Hearts anime potentially. I think if they did that, I would want it to be an original story, or hey, they can make Missing Link a manga or an anime. I would take that, sure. Yeah, I'm really curious of what's going on, not just with the new characters like Sigurd or Nept or, you know, Remus, but also there's, of course, Brain, and Xehanort's mom. Are there potential characters we've seen before? The player character as well. A lot that's maybe gonna be gone, but I don't know. That's another thing. Final Fantasy, they're releasing remake for Switch 2. They even had, I didn't mention this, Final Fantasy also just released Final Fantasy Tactics, remaster, remake type thing. So it's like Final Fantasy is going in right now. They have a lot. Obviously, Final Fantasy is a much bigger series than Kingdom Hearts. It has way more avenues to make spin-offs of, but they just gotta divide up their resources and don't make content for the sake of content, but try to do goals that are attainable in a reasonable amount of time. It's gonna be it for me today. It's just a little catching up on what's been going on with Kingdom Hearts, and I guess catching up with me a little bit. Thank you all for watching. Definitely leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I definitely got to get back to doing the one heartfelt moment. I know the next one was Marluxia, so hopefully that should be done soon. And if you're into Final Fantasy, hey, I'm streaming Final Fantasy 16, so you can pop in. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll be seeing you guys next time.